Alrighty, gentlemen. Welcome to today's stream. We're streaming on a Wednesday night because I have the time to. Decided not to go rock climbing today because there wasn't anything super interesting set. So we're going to wait until next week. But yeah, we have new things on screen. So no, we're doing away with the timer. I don't like the timer. It gives me problems. So now we have a remembrance counter and a trees built counter, aka our death counter. But that's actually how many trees we have built, not it is updated to the latest count. Another thing we're going to be doing is, let's go ahead and load into the game while we're talking about this. When we die, or sorry, every 10 minutes I go without dying, I will spin a wheel, which has 4 different challenges on them, which link up to different things that I have to do. So the 4 things are, we have to do a boss hitless. We have to not wear armor. We have to spend the first 5 minutes of the boss fight just dodging. We're not allowed to attack. So just trying to survive for 5 minutes. And then the other one is I have to swap weapons. Speaking of weapon swapping, we're actually going to swap weapons because I would really like to try out a new build. A new build. I want to do a jump attack, multi-hit bleed build. That is the plan. So I'm gonna go gather some materials. We're going to be using Death's Poker to help get us to that point. But for the most part, we're gonna have to go out and collect everything. So the first couple, the things I want to get is Eleanor's pole blade. We're heading to a pole blade right now, and the Godskin Stitcher, because I believe they all have the same kind of jump attack sort of vibes that we're looking for. So we wanna collect them. Hello, gentlemen. This is not where I was trying to go. I can. I guess we're just gonna have to go down this way. I was trying to avoid these. Doesn't look like I can, but I guess if I run like this, there's a higher likelihood that we don't get hit. Oh dear. Maybe I stand corrected. That's okay, I stand corrected. Alright, I want to get, here's the difficult thing. Godskin Stitcher and the Twinned Knight Blades, or whatever they're called, are the highest damage dealing twin blades. However, they don't have any bleed buildup. I thought they had natural bleed buildup. They don't. However, Eleanor's pole blade, Eleonora's, I think it is actually, pole blade does in fact have bleed buildup. So I want to get her pole blade as well if I can. But that might be a little bit complicated. We are going to get multi-hit talismans and all of that good jazz. So that means Millicent's quest line, which means killing Commander Nile. Or is it O'Neill? I can't remember which one's which and which spot. The one that's in Caleb. And then eventually getting the Thorny Cracked Tear. But I believe... I would really like to look at a map. Because I thought that the pole blade is like right on the edge. But maybe it's... I can't open my map, so TBD, I guess. I really wish I could look at the map. This is gold. So supposedly, the thing we're looking for is over there, which is right where we were. And then we also need to get the jump attack cloak, which is in Sage's Cave. It's actually a good portion of the stuff we need to get is in Altus. And it isn't like... Oh, okay, there it is. Yeah, that's what we want. Now, once I get to a safe spot, we need to go to Sage's Cave. Which is over here. And Eleonora's pole blade is at the Second Church of America. She's an invader. I don't know how, Oh, you know what I should probably do, though? Probably get that timer running. 10 minutes. Spend 10 minutes into stream. So we can... And if it... One of the ways I'm kind of going about it is, if I die, the timer restarts. It'll go until the next boss fight. If it turns out 10 minutes is too short of a time, then I may just kind of ignore that and go for 20 minutes instead. All of them affect the next boss fight, so there's a good chance that we're gonna have to use a different weapon for Godskin Apostle. Because, of course, well, I mean, there's a chance. There's a chance. Lancey-X is about to appear. We don't want to kill Lancey-X. He doesn't give me any. Alright, good. Lancey-X isn't going to follow me. Now, these caves and stuff, kind of a problem. So that, you know, I gotta be careful about that. Don't need to fight any bosses, thankfully. I believe it's just in a chest. So we just have to, you know, find the chest. But I don't know which chest specifically that it is in. No. Goodbye, Governor. It's like one of these or something. Okay. Let's not die. Alright. Okay, so this guy has, like, a ton of hyper armor. Alright, brother. Freaking 10 minutes. Well, freaking lot. Alrighty. Oh, there's another guy over here. Alright. That's a useful item. I always thought, because you watch people, they know exactly which one of these chests this is in, so they just run right to it. Oh, there's the Raptor Talons. That's another good bleed option for us. But other people, they just walk in and they go straight to the thing they need. I think it's one of these guys. But I always thought it was because... Yeah, there it is. I always thought it was because they... I can't TP out of here. Alright. Not fighting a boss. There's no reason to. Do not want to die unnecessarily. Biggest fear of death is falling. Missing a jump like that. Alright, so that is one piece of the puzzle. We'll worry about putting that on later. Don't need to wear it right now. For a second, I thought there wasn't a way to get back up, and I was a bit scared that I'd have to kill the boss. Which I think one of the bosses is an Invis Black Knight, so that'd be certainly frightening. Have to fight. Now we need to go to the Second Church of America and fight Eleonora. Wherever that is. Also need to find the map for this area. Because that leads me to there. Well, actually, I'm pretty sure it's this. I'm surprised I didn't stop at this, this grace that's on the way. Alright. Off we go. What's really funny is that my next Fellowcraft episode that I was planning on making, quite literally, was this. Was building that forest, or building trees. And here I am, not working on that, procrastinating the trees building. But instead, I'm doing this, which is forcing me to build the forest that I was supposed to build in the first place. The irony, eh? I remember when I first did my playthrough, that guy was a huge pain in the butt. Alright, so I am at the second Church of America. Though supposedly I don't have a Reduvia in my hand. Supposedly I don't need to do anything in Ura's quest to get this. But maybe I do. Don't know. Alright, well, I guess we're going back here. Because I'll come back and see if Eleonora pops up. Maybe I needed to kill that guy first. With Death's Poker, a lot of these should be pretty easy. Alright. Alright. Well. Alright, now let's see. I guess we'll put a pin in that. What I'll do next, I guess, here's what we'll do. To spice things up a little bit. Once this is done loading. To spice things up a little bit. Let's spin the wheel. Let's spin the wheel and see what... Ooh, I also have this. It's very good, very good, very good. We're gonna need this. Thank you very much. Alright. Let's see what we're gonna have to do. Alright. Pop this over here. Let's see. Yeah. Alright. How are we gonna have to fight Godskin Apostle? Oh boy. Use a new weapon. Alright. Okay, so we're gonna have to use a new weapon, so we can't use Death's Poker, which is fine. This requires 16 strength. How much runage do I got going for me? 16 strength. We'll get that with the physic. We'll get that with the physic. Right? We have the int tier, so let's change that to strength. The magic tier, let's change that to, I guess, charged attack. Or we don't have dex, but we'll want dex. So we'll do strength and cracked. Oh, this is also +0. Oh no. Why did I decide about this? Oh no. Oh no. I'm gonna die. Gentlemen, I'm gonna die. This is a smithing weapon. Maybe... Hold on. I'm gonna upgrade it anyways, because I'm gonna upgrade it to use it later. I'm just not using it now. I want to get it a little bit upgraded. This is an Altus boss, after all. I will say, granted, kind of the part of the swapping weapons is that it's not upgraded, but... Oh, I don't even have smithing ones. Alright. Do I have smithing ones? Did I get the smithing wand bellbearing? Did I already do that? Or did I not do that? If not, then we'll kill that boss with this weapon. Because I need that anyways. It's just the next boss. Okay. I did not. What was that? This was a Schmitter. I suppose I also have merchants that I could check to get to smithing 3. These are smithing 1s. 2 smithing 1s, so that's 1 upgrade level. We can get a couple more from this jit. Never mind, I already bought them. Stop it, shut up. I've not gone to Beach Merchant yet. We'll go to him. Alright, well, while we're doing this escapade, gentlemen, I have finished... Oh, wow, okay, that was way off. Alright, I have finished watching Game of Thrones. Okay. And with that... Hello. Assessment. Thank you very much, good sir. Okay. Cool. With finishing it, what I have assessed, I have a very controversial opinion, alright? Very controversial indeed. I liked the ending. I thought it made sense. Given the way the story was being told, the ending made sense given the events that took place. And I think the reason people didn't like it is because they had one idea of how it should have ended, and it did not end that way. So they got mad and were like, "Oh, it's a bad ending." They rushed it, trying to find all the excuses because they didn't want to admit that it was thought out. It just wasn't the ending they wanted, which I think that's a fair assessment. This isn't boding well for me. There are no smithing 1s. I might have to kill the Crystallian, which Crystallian is a lot easier than a Godskin Apostle. So that might be a better bet anyways. Granted, a Twin Blade is an absolutely terrible... Well, I mean, the other weapon I had was also a terrible option. Both options were kind of bad. Alright, gentlemen, we're going to fight the Crystallian instead. The Crystallian... Crystallion's in here, isn't it? Yeah. I think so. We're gonna fight the Crystallian. Get the bell bearing. So we can upgrade our weapons in the future. Because again, I want to get the Godskin Healer. And use that. Basically, I want to use that and this weapon to do a jump attack build. Multi-hit jump attack build and juice damage. It's going to be juice, I think. Eleonora's pole blade was to get a little bit of bleed in there and kind of swap out one of the good weapons, the good damage weapons, for a little bit of bleed. But we could also bleed attune one of them and do multi-hit with one blood attuned. Whichever one has the highest bleed. And then the other one is on damage. I think that could be a good way to go about it. Now, the cave I'm about to go into is kind of notorious for killing me. So it's going to be kind of rough. Rough goings to start here, but that is fine. Okay, nice. Alright, see, look at that. Multi-hit build is going to go crazy. We also need the multi-hit talisman, but we'll worry about that. We want the claw talisman, multi-hit talisman, and then the other one was going to be Lord of Blood's exaltation. I do that every time. Those are the weapons that I do want to collect. Goodbye, gentlemen. I also have learned that these elevators, have other ways down. Like there's, oh, don't fall off. Thank you. Like you can just walk. Okay, brother. Bro, calm the frick down. Alright, well. Sorry, brother. We do need those. Okay. Relatively smooth getting here. I'd wager. Send that back up. Just because. We got it prepare. Alright. This is essentially. Well, this isn't essentially. This is a +0. But this is also a Crystalian. Alright, I don't know why it's saying I can't wield it. I should be able to wield it. Okay. I should. I legitimately don't know what's happening, and I didn't know that this is a part of the game, so I guess we're gonna have to... Guess we're clubbing it up. There we go. Alright, gentlemen. This didn't go as planned. I apologize. I feel like I robbed you of a good time. For some reason, I can't wield my weapon. I don't know why that is. I thought I have 20 strength. Oh, I need 18 dex. Ah, I see. I thought, alright, well, that's fine. Gentlemen, that is fine. So we defeated the boss. How epic is that? Let's put Deathspoker back on. It's +5. Again, alright. So let's go ahead. Bump up Dex by 1. Just so we can wield the Twin Blade. I have 5 of those. Only one of those. Alright. So I need 4. So I believe I need 5 more. 5 more ones. And I need... Alright, well, I'm broke. That's unfortunate. I can't get any smithing or somber 6s yet, because I don't have access to them, I don't think. Which is fine.
Well, I took you no man to lay out your arms then.
Alright, I need 2 more ones. The bell bearing for the 2s is easy to obtain, though, so that's good to know. I need 2 more. 5, 7, 10, 12. Alright. That's enough to get it up to a certain number. Why does this require so much? Also, one thing, you know what I want to try? That I've been thinking about? Camera speed. Bumping that up a little bit. Because I feel like I'm always moving it.
No matter.
Like, I want to move faster. I don't want any of these noble stuff. I don't care about it. I don't care about any of these. These are all replenishable. We get upgraded one more, but we don't have the money for it. Alright, if we kill Godskin Apostle, though, we will have the money. Shut. Gentlemen. We're going to try to kill a Godskin. Hear the waver in my voice? I'm scared. Man, you keep hitting me out of my things. It's kind of annoying. Thank you. This is not going well. How did my thing not go out? That's what I want to know. Like, I did the full motion, and then it just didn't go anywhere. Alright, well, we're back to 1 tree. I don't do a lot of damage. I take a lot of damage. This isn't going well. I also don't know his moveset very well, so... Not what, like, other than Black Flame, him throwing that. That's about it. About all I know. Alright, well. Yep, I was trying to dodge backwards. I was in an attack. See, like, right there. I didn't know the moveset. 2 trees. I love how it's just, like, one boss battle immediately guarantees 5 trees. Do I try to fight him 3 more times? Or do I continue trying to build the other thing? But I also don't have runes to make it good. And I want his weapon. It's a lose-lose situation. I'm gonna be real with you. Into the fire. Crap. I was stuck in the animation. Frick, dude, I didn't know how wrong that range was, dude. Ah, that sucks. That was a really good idea. Just lack of knowledge. If I knew how far out that was gonna go, I obviously wouldn't have been standing right in it. I didn't know it went that far. I thought it was at its max already. Frick, dude. That sucks. I keep getting stuck on this one rock every time I walk up here. Alright, we're at 3. Alright, dodge right into that. Alright. Freaking goodness, dude. Dodging so ridiculously early. Per usual. Alright. One more death, and then I'm going to switch over and build the 5 trees. I'm so mad at that last one. I was doing so well. I don't know why I died. I pressed the dodge button. I guess I was still stuck in an animation. I think that was 5. I think that was 5 deaths. Alright. Moving over to Minecraft. One boss. That's all it took. And we already got 5 trees that we need to build. It's so annoying. Why did I do that? Why? Alright, well, I wasn't supposed to do that. I wasn't supposed to do that, but it's fine. It doesn't matter. Alright. How much leaves do we have? I think do I have enough for 5? I mean, we already know we're gonna build a cop-out tree. That's just gonna be a friggin' stick. I just don't know how to dodge his moves. That, like, so many times, I just don't know move sets. And that's, like... Also, and then, of course, because I don't know the move sets, in my perspective, it just seems like the moves are undodgeable, because no matter when I feel like I'm dodging at the right time, obviously I'm not, because I keep getting hit. But that doesn't change the fact that it looks and feels that way. And it's just kind of annoying, because I'm like, well, how do I dodge it? Because pressing the B button when it looks like I'm, when this hammer's coming down, and I'm getting hit either way, or I'm dodging the first half, obviously I'm not dodging the second half, because I'm getting hit by that. I don't know what to do. It doesn't help that I'm dying really fast. Like, it takes 3 hits, and that's it. The only good news is that I have, good heals. So they're kind of making up for that, being able to heal me back to full, allowing me to get hit another 3 times, but it doesn't matter when I'm still getting hit 3 times. At the end of the day, that's the problem. Yeah, because really, my solutions to all of my Elden Ring problems are just try to figure out a way to do so much damage that you kill them before they kill you. So probably a, I blanked, like a +0 like a +0 weapon run is probably a good idea if I'm seeking improvement, because it'll force me to play better because the fights are going to last longer. Whereas I constantly am, my play style and therefore build style is very much, my play style is like tank, do lot damage. And I don't think that play style is serving me very well, because it's yielding very negative habits. Because I'm now attacking without thought rather than actually trying to attack in the openings. Again, not knowing move, which also my fault. I'm not saying this is like, not saying there's something game wise. It's all my fault. It's all me. At the end of the day, the real solution is if I were better at the game, I would be playing better at the game. But we're not there yet. It's still Souls-like. Because I'm thinking Godskin Duo is a pain in the butt, but also I've never really had that much trouble with the guy. Like, yeah, sure, he kind of sucks. But I still beat him. But also, I'm usually over-leveled. I'm also playing the game with the rune thing turned off. I only keep my runes on net. That's the only mod I have on. Right. But I used to have a mod that would make things cheaper. I'm missing the mod. I don't think I need it anymore as I used to. Like, I kind of needed that mod to enjoy the game because I needed it to be slightly easier to show me what was possible, and then it was like, okay, now I know what I can do. It's still not very good. Like, it's not like it's anything crazy, but yeah, that's just kind of the throws, I guess. We're getting pretty fast at building these trees, though, so it usually doesn't take us too long to build 5 trees. They get built pretty quickly. Though, I'm noticing a lot of these trees are very plump. Because I tend to not build enough of this. Like, I probably should have... Honestly, where this top of this is should have been the size of this. But I got really short really fast. So it's like a really, really plump tree. So I'm going to build one right in front of it to kind of cover that up. A lot of these trees exist because I'm covering up the learning curves of the trees. So I'm like, all right, let's put this one in front of it and call it a day there. It's like, right, go up 2 more. Because I always try to go larger than I think on the first run. And, like, really have it flow out. And just kind of do that. And kind of see what happens. Honestly, I don't even see the point of making the holes anymore. With this style of tree, it doesn't feel necessary to do that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy. Anyways, back to a previous topic, because I kind of want to talk about it a little bit. Game of Thrones. So I liked the ending, alright? Don't know if y'all have seen it or care about it. Oh, I forgot. I need to do this. Hey, but I'm recording. I remembered to record. We are recording right now. So that's good. Anyways, Game of Thrones. I didn't want to put that there, but that's fine. I don't mind that's there. I liked... Like is a strong word. The ending wasn't as crazy as everyone said it was. People made it out to seem that the ending was rushed and not thought out. They didn't like the madness. They thought it wasn't given enough time, so it didn't make sense. Blah, 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 blah. All the things. Granted, this may or may not have affected. I don't actually know what my opinions would have been if I had watched Game of Thrones blind. I had previously, not like right before watching the show, but a while back had watched like a 4-hour-long video explaining all of the event, or like just a summary of everything that happens in the show. It was just like, here's what happens in Game of Thrones. Because I was like, I want to know what happens, because it's a very popular show, but I didn't want to watch it because everyone made it sound like it was, like I knew it was extremely inappropriate, but people made it seem like it was way worse than it really was. Like it wasn't that bad. That's a whole nother topic that another kind of video essay I could get into about that. But either way, knowing that Daenerys was going to go mad meant that as I was watching it, I could very easily see the madness building up throughout the show. So when it finally happened, it was more of like Miss Sunday's death. Sorry if you haven't seen it yet. Her death was the straw that broke the camel's back. Right? But most people saw that as, oh wow, that's all it took, and she's mad. And I think the reason for that is because people really, really wanted Daenerys to be queen. They were really gun-hoing for that. Like, they were pretty much sure of it, that was going to be the ending that they got. Daenerys was going to be queen, break the wheel, all of that goodness. And it turns out, no, Daenerys is just a part of the wheel. She is, just like her father, again, spoilers, going to go mad. And it didn't seem like the writers had thought about this beforehand and kind of just were like, yeah. I disagree. I think that was very thought out. I thought that was very obvious that that was going to happen. Like, that's why I say, even if I had not watched it blind, I think I would have seen that coming from a mile away, regardless. Like, yeah, they're going to make her mad. Like, and I don't mean, like, within Season 8. I mean, like, honestly, way earlier than Season 8, I would have seen that coming. And then when Season 8 came, it would be like, okay, yeah, here it is. Here's the payoff to everything they were building. And then, of course, again, spoilers, Jon kills Daenerys, so the resulting action is his banishment. Well, that makes sense. He killed her. She, essentially he killed royalty. So, of course, he gets banished, and it's to appease the Unsullied. Because, let's be honest, if they decided to wage war against the forces that were left, it probably wouldn't have ended well for those very forces. So, that's kind of the thoughts that I got on that. Bran being named king, I think, is always going to be a moment that no one's going to really enjoy. That, it made sense why the resulting action was that. However, I still didn't like it. Obviously, you want Jon to be king. It set that up way long ago. Like, you knew that was going to happen. It was, they were building for that to be an eventual outcome. And then they didn't really pay it off. Because at that point, they had, and I, like, to a degree, I liked that because they stuck to logic. They're like, well, it wouldn't make sense for him to be king considering what he did. Like, it made sense that he wouldn't be named king after that. No one, or at least the Daenerys followers, would not have been very happy about that. So I was like, yeah, that makes sense that they're not gonna wanna go along with that. Nonetheless, still kind of a, and it made sense. Bran is the story guy, so of course we want him to be king because he's got the memories required for it. And I'm like, that, it makes sense why we got where we got, but Jon being king would have been an acceptable. I'm gonna remove this tree and rebuild it. Jon being named king would have been an acceptable. All right, so you decided to go logistically. You obviously built up Daenerys to do what she did. Now let's move on and call it there. Let's have a somewhat happy ending. It's Game of Thrones after all. Everyone's dying. It's not necessarily in the nature of the show to be kind to its characters, which is good storytelling. You don't want to be kind to your characters. You want to traumatize them, because that makes for good stories. Yeah, so that's just, I thought the ending made sense. I thought the ending was thought out. I do think the writers actually did think about it. Now, obviously, there's the other arguments for why it was, and I do think to a degree, most likely, Season 8 was rushed. They probably wanted it to be done by that point. I don't know when House of Dragons started. I just started watching that. I don't know when that started up, but it's possible that they wanted to start that and therefore needed to end Game of Thrones to begin the new show. Um, so they were rushing through it to get it done. Wait, no, that doesn't make sense. That can't be. Because House of Dragons made by Netflix, not by HBO, but Game of Thrones is made by HBO. Anyways. So, I mean, that's my thoughts on the matter. I mean, I thought the ending made sense given the circumstances of everything. Like, yeah, she goes mad. Why? Tyrion literally explains what happens, or explains why what happened. He literally tells Jon why that is. And I think, honestly, that was less for in character for Jon and more for the audience to be like, you guys probably aren't going to like where we're taking the story, but this is where we want to take the story. And I mean, well, not this is where we want to. This is what we've been building to take the story, but you've been too enamored to believe that this is going to be the outcome. So Tyrion, take it away, and he's basically like, well, her whole life, she's killed people who she deemed evil and was praised for it. And so therefore, you get to an evil person, she's gonna kill it. And kill anyone associated, like she has in the past, because she's always been applauded. And even now, she's still being applauded. Another thing that I don't think people probably weighed into the equation was the fact that Daenerys and her people were literal armies. Think about that. Her people was the Unsullied, an army, brother. And it was the Unsullied and the Dothraki were her people, and then a few others in between. Those people want war. So, of course, every time she did something remote, like violent, they were going to praise her for it, because Dothraki are lawless. All they know is the violence. And then, the Unsullied is an army. So they don't really understand anything other than that. So, that's kind of that, I feel like it made sense why everything happened the way that it did. Like I thought that was an ending that checked its boxes. It made sense why things happened the way they did. I don't know, people are always going to be mad about it. Oh, right, with the rushed thing, of course, the water bottle, the Starbucks coffee, that is the sign of it's rushed and you probably didn't have time as a script supervisor. That's, that would be their job to watch out for that kind of stuff. But again, as a script supervisor, you're also watching out for 1,000 other things. So it's hard to also watch out for things like that. But to be perfectly honest, when it comes to things like water bottles and other junk on set, the script supervisor is the last line of defense on a TV show. They catch it when no one else does, because they're always looking out for that kind of stuff. But it's also up to everyone else to be paying attention to it. The director is maybe the only person you could argue who wouldn't really be looking at it, because you'd be surprised how much the director makes. Hence, the script supervisor position even exists, is all because the director can't catch everything. Because the director is so focused on performance and the general story that he's not going to have the mental capacity to also be watching out for all of this other stuff. So, yeah. But even then, once it was caught, you also have to think it got through the editors as well. Like, even still, the editors are the last line of defense, and it still got through them. You know what I mean? Like, there were a lot of people that it slipped by. Which, again, does show that it was probably somewhat rushed. Or at least hurried up, They obviously wanted to get it aired and out for the peoples. But when I was watching my playthrough, I was specifically looking out for it. I didn't see it. So if I had to guess, they most likely had re-uploaded the whole thing to include not that, to kind of clean it up, which is good. Very, very good. That's what you do, especially with the TV show. You release it, you find the issues, you re-release it to fix those issues. Did you know? Fun fact about re-releases. This is a completely off-topic, random thing that popped into my head. Star Wars, they released the first, which I don't remember which episode this happens in, but they released one where Han Solo is talking to the one guy, and then he just shoots the guy, right? They edited that scene like 16 different times to try to make it look like Han Solo dodged out of the way first and he was attacked first. Because they wanted him to be more of a good guy. And again, they did that like 16 times. So that just goes to show that whatever production wants, whatever the producers want, is ultimately what's going to go. So if they make it go fast, it's going to go fast. If they make it do that, it's going to go that way. End of the day, blame the producers. It's their fault. You'd actually be surprised how slow a set moves when a producer is on set. Not because people are like scared or anything crazy like that, but because the producer is usually pointing out a million different things that don't matter and forcing you to do things that don't matter because they can't view anything but the production side of things. So they're just lost in their own world at that point. We love them. We love our producers, but sometimes it can be problematic. All right, well, there's a creeper like right over there. All right, that's tree number 4. Oh, wow, amazing. Oh, speaking of amazing, not that this movie was amazing, but just specifically one of the characters says a funny catchphrase that has to involve amazing. That was tree number 3, right? Yeah, I think so. Funny, I lost the tree. Oh my gosh. They're so plump. These trees ain't, like, they're treeing, but they're also not treeing, you know? Like, they're just not working out so well. But I think probably another one right in here and kind of fill in these gaps ought to be good. But I am not going to do that. I'm going to build the stick trees for the last 2, mainly because I'm almost out of birch leaves. I don't think I have any more from when I went collecting. So I'm pretty much just out of resources. Obviously have a little bit of that left. You can throw this stuff away. But I don't think I have... Yeah, I don't have any more birch leaves, unfortunately. Oh, okay. So we'll need to go collecting birch leaves. Where do I keep my mob drops? I keep them in here, right? Yeah. Bingo. I'm probably gonna need more. Anyways, Project Hail Mary. Watched that recently. That was pretty good. That was a pretty good movie. It wasn't like, wow, that's amazing. It was like, okay, that was a good movie. I don't know if I'd watch it again. It was long at some points. It was certainly long at some points, but not like crazy long. It was just, yeah. But I mean, it kept my attention for the duration of time that I needed it to keep my attention for. Which is good. I want to put one like right here, but I don't think I can because the elevator's like right there. I actually don't know where I can put one that isn't right there. I guess I could put another one right here. Put them right next to each other. They'll never see it coming. Okay. Bingo, bango. Those actually should be... Okay, there it is. Those should be pretty good thin branch trees. I think those will match in pretty well. I kind of actually need to not come this way. I don't know why I'm building so many trees on this side. Probably because the storage system's there. I need to build them more that way. Wow, that is a bad tree right there, though. Like, look at how short it is. Like, this should be up to here, and then it goes higher. Like, look at B-dubs, eh? This is the model tree, right? He obviously has a little bit more shadow bits in there. I'm not worrying about that. That's a little more complicated for me right now. But I need to be building more trees on this side. So I think what I'm going to do is build more trees probably from this, like, edge line right here. Like, don't go on here. Keep them around here. Bring it around here and kind of encompass this area. These trees, we can just say, are like baby versions of these trees. Like, this is the full-grown forest. They obviously cut down the trees here to build this. And then here they are. All right. Let's get back to it. Let's get back to building... I'm not gonna lie. I like the concept of the challenge. Of, like, having a challenge to get imposed. I also don't like... Don't like it because of our whole fiasco. Oh, I suppose... Wait, there was something I wanted to do. Oh, that's right. We can swap back to this. We can change this to 16. Bingo. Bango. Alright, I am going to grab myself something to drink. We're gonna... As I said, we're not gonna worry about the challenge anymore because it's not really working out for us. And yeah, I'll be right back. I'm back. I'm back. We got our Coke. While we wait for... You can go ahead and load into the game. While we get this. I'm not going to do that. Instagram and the crack coking because it just takes too long to set up. let us gather the resources that we need. So, we need the Claw Talisman, which is in Stormvale. Do I remember how to get to it? Yeah. I think I do. We also need the Iron Wet Blade, because I think we'll need Keen and all that. Yeah, we've killed Godric. He's dead. He's very good. Oh, what if I hold this jinx up? You can't see it, but I was putting my index finger over top of my thumb to move the camera. I'm not doing that again. It was not very comfortable. It's not the same as pressing shift with your thumb, you know? Like, that actually kind of has validity to it. Like, that works well. Where am I going? I think I'm going up. I need to get on top of the rooftops, but I gotta remember where the rooftops are. How to get to there. But I also need to remember how to get to the Iron Wet Blade. This may or may not be the right area. Oh, smithing once. Nice. There's another twin blade that I can get. I mean, obviously Eleonora's twin blade exists, but hello, gentlemen. Goodbye, gentlemen. Though I'm starting to think I need to go on the rampart portion. Maybe not. I don't know. This is to get the golden seed from... Shoot. I didn't realize that I couldn't get back up. That's an Arcaria leaf. I don't know what those are used for, but I don't think they're particularly useful. Gentlemen, I have noticed that I'm not going in the right direction. This is to get the Prince of Death's Pustule, which is not where I want to go. See if I can't. Be aggro. This is not where I want to go. I want to go this way. To get the talisman. Okay. How about these? Alright, this works. Right? Yeah, because I think normally you get there from here. Something like that. I remember falling down that elevator. Ah. Yeah. We have to go around the side. Let's just go around the side. I know how to get to it from there. We want the Claw Talisman. We need the Claw Talisman. For what we're doing. Because that's, for those of you who don't know, Claw Talisman increases jump attacks. It makes you do more damage. I didn't. The other thing, We want multi-hit stuff. Alright, well, I completely went the wrong way. I don't want to have to run back, so rest, or not rest, just get it. There's a fricker after me, alright. Sound the alarms. Wouldn't want to alarm anyone. Hello, gentlemen. You thought. No. What's in this chest again? This is another talisman. Or something. Yeah, curved sword talisman. Not that that's particularly useful. But wait, am I going the right way? Yeah. We're gonna need that guy in the face, dude. Alrighty. Almost to the next side of Grace where we need to be for... Sorry. For the access that we... Whoa. This is where I was trying to get to. I might as well rest. Okay. Now for the Claw Talisman. Should be able to just get it. Shouldn't be too difficult. Go up here, go up here, go up here. Go around. Other way around. Go through. Run. Up. Man. I did die. I thought I could do it. But I guess not. Okay. Claw Talisman, gentlemen. Boom. Increases jump attack. Now. We need to kill Commander... I think it's O'Neil. Commander O'Neil. We need to kill him to get... I specifically want wherever this is. Alright. It's over there. We need to kill Commander O'Neil to get Millicent stuff set up, but we need to kill that Apostle anyways. But we'll kill slightly less scaled, because I think O'Neil is still going to be less. There's another guy there, which is Dragon Barrow. But we're going to get that map, so we'll just have it. I don't know if I'm ready to kill him yet. We'll find out soon enough. Um... Actually, can I kill you? Hold on. Surprised I haven't gotten, and then if we put... Maybe I should have drank that before, Alright, this is just taking forever. Bleed is much better on this guy. Alright. Let's just get that map. I really need to get and figure out how to install Cheat Engine. So that way I could give myself the maps for these challenges. Hello, buddy. Goodbye, buddy. That way I don't have to spend time gathering maps. Hello, gentlemen. Don't mind me, I simply want a map. That is all. Is there anything else that I need to do with Millicent's questline? I don't know. Let me get a Grace somewhere around here, I guess. Probably be good. Not having a Grace right now. Alright, here we go. Here's a Grace. Just something around this area. Okay. There's also the Winged Sword insignia, which is multi-hit. I don't remember where that is, though. I'm gonna look it up. Well, this might be important. Alright. Okay. Well, I saw that. That's right. That's right. Okay. So let's get that. The Winged Sword insignia. We should very easily be able to get this. I say. I will say, I'm also lacking another talisman pouch, which would be helpful, because then we could do claw, the 2 multi-hits, and then blood is kind of the cherry on top. We also want to get Vare's mask, which we'll need to do before we kill Moog. And we should be pretty chill. I don't think I'm going to die to this guy. I feel like I'm over-leveled for him. But that doesn't mean I ain't worried. Okay. Good, we did not die to that guy. So that's that. That's one step. I don't want to mess something up, so I'm going to make sure I do Millicent's, quest line correctly. Let's give you the plague. After you give her the unallied gold needle, she move to Gowry's shack. From there, she will head to the southern Altus Plateau. After defeating Godskid Apostle and giving her Valkyrie's prosthesis, she would be at the site of Grace in the northern part of Windmill Village. Okay. So there's just like a few steps that we have to go through. So we have to get the unalloyed needle. So we have to go into the swamp. We have to kill O'Neil. I have no idea how O'Neil's gonna go. If I'm being totally honest. I also don't really know where O'Neil's boss room is. It's like there. Alright, who am I being invaded? By Millicent. Nah. Oh, shoot, you're like right there. Hey, bro. Bro. Bro, can you not? Millicent, please. Millicent, please. What the? This is so chalk. Alright. This is so chalk. Why? I never knew that this existed. Why is there an invader right before a boss fight? That's so frustrating. It's more frustrating that I decided to run into the boss fight to begin with. But why did I do that? I don't know. Alright, well, we're already at one tree because of weirdness. Let's try to do this properly. Hello, brother. You. Oh! Oh, brother. Alright, can I not stand on the rock, please? Alright, well, I got Scarlet Rot. Come on, please die first. Okay. Good. 2 trees, but we killed him. I forget that his dudes don't go away afterwards. I am going to rest at this. I'm gonna sit at. I'm gonna grab this site of grace. Don't know if I'll need it, but I'll grab it. I figured with Death's Poker, he wouldn't be too bad. I need to get Valkyrie's prosthesis, which is somewhere.
If you are my flesh. If you are my flesh.
I have your needle.
My flesh.
Alright, why is this not working? After you give her the unalloyed, is that not the item that I just collected? That is the item that I just got. Why is this not working? Alright. So this is northeast Gary Shack, so we have to go southwest to get to Gary Shack. Maybe there's a dude that exists there. Maybe I have to talk to him first. Alright, it's that down there. How much you want to bet that I'm going to try to get down here faster, I'm going to die by doing it. Alright. Oh, here goes nothing. Here goes nothing. Alright. Oh. Want me to for real with you? I'm surprised that worked. Hello, bub.
Apply, and I'd hope to strap it. Don't fret, should you I will teach you. I need you to remain resting at... as go on. Now, well, the work of a tree. Can you give me as well, mate?
Alright, bub.
Can you give as well, mate? Can you as well, mate? Can you give me as well made as it is, Sibyl?
Alright, well, we're on the right track. What the? 3 trees, I guess. Alright, that's lovely. Don't know why it worked the first time, not the second time. Alright, I think I can just head on over to him from here. He is that way. Yeah, I think I could just do it from here, and it'd be much safer than doing it the way I was doing it. Because obviously, it just killed me. It made me build a tree. There we go. Now, we go here.
If my flesh, you are to quell, but never mind. I would rather than. Would you mind?
I need to get her prosthesis. While you're doing that, let's see. So we have our winged sword. Let's have commander stand. Not that matters. We have a claw. We have a raptor talons. But you know what? I feel like I should put on. And we can wear Bernal's helmet. You know, get max damage. We can also swap out that with Claw Talisman. Just because we're doing that generally. Also, I might be able to get third Talisman pouch. Need to start preparing. I'm going the wrong direction. Rogier's also here. His sorcerer stuff will make Death's Poker better, but
well done. Something to mom. As you might no need to.
I don't know how to get it though. I think after one remembrance, but I may be wrong.
Anchor until it was the tragic across far, but the great so brave seek to become Leto. Okay, is and I the thing. Now go.
Alright, I guess I think I might have to defeat two of them. Two dudes. Alright, that's fine. So now we'll find her at Gowry's shack. So let's go back to Gowry's shack. And then we need to get Valkyrie's prosthesis, which I believe is in the castle with the Bell-bearing hunter, Elamar of the Briar. We get there. Oh, she ain't here.
And Esther, you've been as thank of the lost.
I'm still here. But she might be fine and standing now. I don't know. Yeah, she's standing now.
My apology. Everything, even the night. Not that I could.
Alright, this gives us Dex.
My name is Smith.
Raises dexterity.
With the needle, my destiny.
Alright, so now she's at Gowry's shack. Making progress, gentlemen. We're making progress. This is what we want. Progress. We progress the game. We progress our forest. Next thing you know, we will have defeated Promised Consort Radahn and Bale in this playthrough. Or we die trying. Literally. Alright, so now you're here.
Something? So I decide I've only perhaps. Well, I must. Well, I must.
Alright, so I just want to double check on where Valkyrie's Prosthesis is. Can be found in a chest in the room guarded by a single clean in the shaded castle. So that is our next location to travel to, is the shaded castle. We don't have to kill anything to get it, which is good. What do you guys got? String. I don't know why I got affected by this. I don't even know where it went. I don't need it. Whatever it is, I didn't need it. Though I suppose if I were to put a blood ash of war of some kind that I can put on the twin blade, would that give it bleed build, passive bleed build up? Is that how that works? Don't know. I don't remember. Hello, Governor. So it's like in that back tower over there, something like that. Alright, bro. Calm down. I think there is a grace somewhere nearby. Cool. That means we don't have to keep running. Alright, let's rest. I have a lot of runes, and I kind of want to level myself up. But I also... Alright, well, there's no map over here, which kind of sucks. I don't know what map. It's probably up here, though. If I had to guess. This probably is taking me somewhat in the direction I need to go. Protected by a clean rot knight. Holy crap, it's fast. Alright. Holmes. It's good to have. Really good. Alright, calm down. Alright, this is the way Oh! Almost got my toesies taken off. So this is the way to Elemer. But I do believe this is not the correct way. Alright. As soon as the page loads. Up the tall ladder from the outermost section of the castle. I might need a video. It's really hard without a map. Alright, let me see if there's a map. Where is the map? I'm surprised there's not a map over here. Okay. It's like way out there, and I also got rid of that. Alright, well. I guess we'll just kind of run around like a headless chicken until we eventually find it. Because maybe it's... I don't know. I don't remember usually climbing that ladder to the left. I remember going to the... I guess not. I stand corrected. Alright. Come on. Alright, brother. Come on. You don't have to be a pain in the butt, dude. Alright, dude. It's not this. No. That's an absolutely useless item. Alright. It's not this. But that is very useful. Alright, that's probably death. That's not death. Surprising. Alright. It's supposed to be in a tower guarded by a clean rot knight. Didn't say anything about killing Elemer. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't have to kill that guy. Oh, what the heck? Stop it. Yeah, I'm probably going to need to watch a little bit of a video to get here, because I have absolutely no idea where this thing is. Unless it's this. Aha! It was that. Alright. Calm the freak. I'm getting out of here. There's nothing you can do about it. I'm leaving. It's over here. Never been over. Oh, that's what's over here. Oh, and that. Oh, that guy has the Anspirator. I think you kill him and you get the Anspirator. I think. I don't actually. Bag of flowers. I just need to teleport back to Gary's shack, you know? Give her her arm. Ah, there we go. And then, at the end of the day, I still have to kill a Godskin Apostle to get this piece of equipment.
Please, I'd like to come on.
Alright. So, we have to kill him before we can give her that, which is fine. We're already at 3 deaths, I think. We're already at 3 trees. Let me check the Second Church America to see if Eleanor is there. See if we can't get the Twin Blade action. If not, I know another location of a different Twin Blade. Because at the end of the day, we're probably not going to use... Actually, yeah, at the end of the day, I'm not going to use Eleanor's. Probably not. But I know of another one. Oh, and I need to get the Iron Wet Blade. That too. We can worry about that a little bit later, though. Goodbye. Just gonna rest here because it makes life easy. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm going this way. It'd be faster to go this way. There is a Twin Blade in these ruins. I remember finding it. But the real difficulty is remembering exactly where it is. Because one of them is a trap chest. The other one is not. But I know where the trap chest is, so I'm not going to go there. I think it's, like, over here. Trap chest that takes you to Celia is over there. So I think... Yeah, right here, there's the Twin Blade. Which, gentlemen, we want. There you go. Now, also... If I haven't already, I don't think I have, we're going to grab the smithing bell bearing, number 2. Since we have access to it. And we'll upgrade, we'll probably put the stock, well, we'll upgrade the other one to the same level, plus 12, I think. And then both of our twin blades will be plus 12. We'll get our stats up to where they need to be for it. And then we'll be golden. And we're going to be juicing dexterity instead of strength. And we'll be going keen on the attunements once we get to a high enough level of dex. Right now, it's not really working. And then eventually, we'll want the occult blade, the occult thing, so we can get that. Or figure out what Ashes of War can work with Flashes of War work with what we want. And then either way, I'm pretty sure. Alright, well, you kind of suck at your job. Alright, so that's all we needed. Now we can... Oh, wait, I have to get out of here. Yeah, I forgot. Alright. Now it's the never-ending. I can never figure out how to get out of here. Is this the right one? Okay. Good. Good. I'm dead. Round table. Now that we're here, so what we can do is we can want that and that and and then the other twin blade. So we already can wield the other twin blade. We can already wield the other twin blade. So double twin blade in the hands. Wow, we don't want that many. We just want 11. 12. We'll leave it at that. We'll upgrade the weapon. Then we'll get the 3s and the 4s, and we'll upgrade it however far we can go. Yeah, this is +6. So the other one's going to take us to +6. So let's actually buy the rest of them that we need. Let's buy all the stones that we need. And then we can worry about the upgrading. So, also need... That only allows us to upgrade. Actually, allied. Let's upgrade these to +6 first. Oh! I'm fat. We'll see how fat in a second. Because that's not good. So let's go upgrade the twin blade to +6. Then we can upgrade this to +7. Let's get 2 3s to upgrade to +7. Man, I need runes. So that gets us to... Well, that gets us to +7 on the one guy. We need 4 of each. I can at least upgrade the one to plus whatever. Maybe not. I might not have the money for it. And then I have no runes to make myself not heavy. So this goes to +7. I am not going to use that. Because this does more damage. Oh, this one scales way worse. Alright. How fat am I? Well, I'm pretty fat. I'm no longer fat. Alright, that keeps us at medium. Very good. Now... Wait, I need the dex tier. Where is it? On one of these rocks. We get Dex tier. That'll help enhance damage. Since we don't have... We'll do Strength and Dex as our damage stats. Alright, brother. Alright, brother. Come on, man. Dang it. This is not the right one. So I think it's this one. Well. Oh no, it is this one. Okay. So now, gentlemen, we have our new build. Right? Why am I not? That's how it is. This is the build right here. This is the build. Multi-hit build, so we want that. And this. Jump attack. Multi-hit. Jump attack cloak. We want Dex and Strength tiers for the weapons requirements. Yeah. I don't have anything else to really add to this. Alright. New build. Obviously, more Dex, more gooder. More damage. But this should still smoke pretty hard. And it forces us to get up close. Alright, when was I heavy load? I thought we established that I wasn't heavy load. We're at 4. I think not being heavy load would have been really nice. I don't know why I'm heavy load. I thought I did all the things to not do that. Put on the skeletal mask. Alright, now we're medium load. Alright. I pressed the dodge button and I jumped. I swear, I thought I was pressing B and I jumped. Alright, I guess we're at 5, but I'm gonna keep going. Because that was really weird. I literally pressed the B button and for some reason I jumped at him. I don't know what happened there. Again, a lot of it is also due to the fact that I don't know it's got... Well, I mean, that jump, that was just weird. I don't know what happened. was the wrong one. Alright, so I die in 2 hits. So I just basically, if I get hit, I need to heal. Because I'm just going to die in another hit. Also, I'm not doing the right button inputs. Because I keep forgetting what button inputs I'm supposed to be doing. It's jump, L2. We're at 6 trees. Okay, wow. There is a lot of... There is a lot of delay in between jumping and rolling. Because I'm landing, pressing B, and not moving. Let's see exactly how long it is in between. Because I feel like it's really long. I don't think I'm doing nearly enough damage to make this worth it. Okay. Thank you for that. Much appreciated. I was just testing things, man. What am I... Gosh, frickers. Literal frickers. And now she's following me. Great, so now I have to fight both the Godskin Apostle. I'm trying here. I am so trying to hit you. I am literally trying to turn my camera, but because I'm locked on Godskin Apostle, all of my attacks were going towards him. I don't like this jump attack build. I'm going to be real with you right now. It's not hitting hard enough to be worth it. I think I'm at 8 trees. The delay between landing is making it not very beneficial for the... Like, I don't do nearly enough damage. Alright, so I dodged, like, twice during that, and it didn't dodge a single time. So that was an accident. Do something. Do something. Alright, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, well, I tried to dodge. Frick, I didn't know you were doing that. Probably shouldn't have healed there. Alright, well now we know this thing is huge. Holy, alright. Oh, man. Alright, so that's what we wanted. Godskin Peeler. We upgraded the one weapon so we could get the Godskin Peeler so we could do exactly what we're doing, alright? Alright. So Godskin Peeler and the other one that we've got in hand are pretty good. Oh, wow, holy crap. Where is Millicent? I thought she was supposed to be here. Hold up. Alright, brother. How many people are there named? Alright, so me. Like, alright, Erdtree is fine. Oh. Alright. So Millicent is at this. So we'll give her the arm here, I think, and then we can go over to the Godskin. Just north. Like, how far north are we talking? Oh, there she is. Hello, Millicent.
Ah, in truth, it's the Scarlet Rock as such, though rather than realize I could have aided. Are you giving me? I think
I'm gonna want that back, just so you know. I figured I should let you.
It might be perhaps that. If it might be perhaps that. Ah, the army. It feels. Perhaps it is through us.
Alright.
It is the.
I think now if I kill her,
It is the only.
I should get the... Alright. I'm just gonna send it, dude.
Why are you doing this? Now I'm forced to my hand.
Oh, wow. Alright. You know... I need to drink this. Man, you are much more of a problem than I thought. Alright, bro. Every time I go in for a hit, I just end up paying for it big time. And then the only time I can get a hit... Alright. There we go.
Imagine
I got scared that she was giving me a herba.
and
I want your prosthesis. Yeah!
what you have done.
I think right now this is probably better than Winged Sword until we get that other talisman pouch. I can't remember. Alright, well, either way. Yeah, 2 Great Runes. Alright. Either way, I need to get the other Great Rune. Shit. We have to defeat Renala or Renan. But first... This is the one we want to keep. This also requires a lot of strength that we don't have. But this scales way better with Dex. I probably should not have put that many stones into the other guy, because now I gotta deal with the fact that I don't have money. Because now I need to upgrade the Stitcher. 12 of those. 12 of those. 6 of those. That should be enough to get it to the same level that we're at with the other guy.
Well, I took you no matter it's out your own.
Boy, I hope I have... Oh my gosh, I don't have enough. Alright, that's just gonna have to do. Because I don't know what else to do about that. Alright. So we need to kill Radahn or Rennala. Who do I think I have a better chance against? Well, either way, I have to build 8 trees. So I think that's going to be it for the Elden Ring portion of this. Because I need to build 8 trees. And that's a lot of trees. Also, I gotta take off this one. It's getting hot. I also want to make sure that... Okay. PC is doing fine. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I recently came to learn that... Alright, well, first of all, I think the thing we need to do first and foremost is... Alright, well, my Horge is, like, nearly dead. But we need a lot of these. So I'm going to repair the Horge. And a birch forest not near anybody would be ideal. So that I can do that. Oh, you know what? I probably put a tree count there, I guess. That's fine. I think I'm going to actually repair this by buying experience. Like, literally the XP bottles. So that way I can repair it while I'm out and about. Because I got 12 clerics. Rather than, like, trading with these guys. Because I don't really need more emeralds. Also, frame. Holy. Also, maybe beneficial to convert these guys at some point in the future. I don't remember... Oh, I have not upgraded my water. That's unfortunate. This is the most unfortunate. Well, I guess I'll upgrade all these guys. Because, like, I kind of need these guys to be upgraded so I can, you know, get the XP. Slight distraction. Gentlemen, slight distraction. Alright, well. Also, if you're ever wondering why I have shulker boxes right there, that is why. So I need to find a birch forest to absolutely decimate. Hello, Mike Schmidt. Hopefully you're doing well. Right. Because I need birch logs. I'm not going to take from there. So it's going to be somewhere out here. This is Bob's area. This is the spawn. I could probably take it from this birch forest. Because this is the mob switch. So I think I'll take it from that. I'll go and take that stuff. Because I think that'll be fine. It's just annoying to kind of have to do that around here. And take the... It's just like, since it's both oak and birch, and I'm getting more oak than I am birch. Or like, if I did the whole forest, whereas it'd be much easier just to go somewhere where it's just birch and then completely decimate the area. So we need to fill up quite a lot of shulker boxes of leaves before we can even build 8 more trees. And then you can build 8 more trees. Yeah, it's kind of crazy when you think about 3,000 hours in a game. What that looks like exactly. And it's just like, most of it is just that knowledge. I'm going to turn on the mob switch while I'm here as well. Okay. Because, yes, I don't think anyone's going to care if I decimate this place. Because this is kind of not a nice looking location. Just in general. So I don't think no one's building a base here. Let's just put it that way. No one is building a base right here because this is the mob switch. So, I think if I just start chopping leaves, I think we'll be fine. I don't think anyone's gonna care. The only people who might care are people who would have wanted to do exactly what I'm doing, but they didn't do it. So, womp womp, I guess. Alright. I am gonna sleep even though I have the mob switch on because it's dark and I don't wanna... Well, I guess I could turn gamma on and then just... Yeah, let me do that. Turn the gamma on while we work. And then, of course, mob switch is on so we don't have to worry about mobs ever. Which is nice. 4 shulker boxes should hold us over for a good portion of time. It is very laggy this way. Holy, I'm sorry about the frame rate. Jeez Louise. It is incredibly laggy looking up because that's where all the mobs are. Alright, I need to get up here. I need some light. Ain't that the truth, holy. Biggest struggle as a rock climber is definitely height. Like, no, hands down. Especially with the modern climbing that we have nowadays. Height absolutely dominates climbing. In an unfortunate way. And to be fair, I'm not that short, if I'm being totally honest. I'm 5'7", which isn't like short. You know what I mean? But it certainly isn't tall. Climbing is one of the very few sports, and this is going to make sense in a second. Climbing is one of the very few sports that both men and women can participate in. Kind of co-equally. And like a lot of, like school competitions, I feel like, or at least my school does co-ed, right? It's one of the very few sports where you can do co-ed and you don't really have to alter that much about the sport to make it feasible. Like, men's climbing is not so outlandish. Like, to be fair, both men and women's setting style is different enough in its own right that we should have the separation. But I also think if we wanted to, you could easily find a happy medium that's equally as difficult for all athletes, regardless of gender. Because we have really strong women athletes. I'm looking at one of the, the first person that comes to mind, obviously, is Janja Garnbret, who is just insanely strong and insanely good at rock climbing, that I personally believe that she can compete at the men's level, and still perform well. Not that I think she would necessarily win, but she would have an equal amount of chance to win as any other guy. Now you also have people like Sorato Anraku, who's just also really good at the sport and is dominating the scene himself. Though, I will say, I have not been keeping up with world climbing as much as I used to. I used to watch, like, the live streams of the competitions, basically. I don't anymore. Why? is kind of boring now, because of the new competitive style of setting, which unfortunately is just kind of now becoming the general way of setting, which is just very dynamic and very coordination. Almost, it's basically on the verge of parkour without actually being parkour, because it's very much coordination, power. Yeah, it's really just that. It boils down to those two things. It's coordination and power is the domination. Going back to the men v women thing, or not men v women, but just men and women competing in the same. The differences between the two genders in terms of competing, at least as well in terms of setting style, is men's tends to be the more like power based, very strength based, or like super dynamic. Also, I'd like to mention height dependent, because men tend to be taller than women. And so really tall dudes, especially really tall dudes with really long arms, are going to dominate against the 5'2" women with really short arms. So for women's setting, you do have to account for height, though in some cases it literally has boiled down to some women, well, struggling very hard because they're 5'2" and literally can't even... I'm pretty sure there was one case where one athlete, a Japanese athlete, was trying to start the boulder and couldn't, because she couldn't reach, because it's one of those where, like, you have to stand and press. She couldn't reach the top hold to press because she was too short. And it's like, what? What do you mean? Like, that shouldn't really be legal, because, like, that means that one athlete literally is stricken of their chance, unless there is another boulder that compensates for it, that being really short for is super helpful and being really tall for is super against you. And you can set that way. Most people would never set something intentionally short. It more or less happens that way by accident than anything else, which is unfortunate, because you have people like me who love the short sets, and yeah, there are times where it's easier that way. But I don't know, it's just like climbing has gotten so dynamic and power coordination that, to me, I personally find it very boring. Especially to watch, because you're watching climbers try and fail at the same thing every single time, you know? And not really, in some cases, literally making zero progression on the move. They just don't get it. They try and fail 1,000 times. Well, not literally, but you get the point. They try and fail, and they use all of their attempts just trying to get to the first hold, which isn't even usually the zone. A lot of times in the dynamic climb, zones tend to be really far away from the start hold, because there's usually a big jump. So they're like, well, we can't put the zone close because it'd be too easy, so we got to put it far away. But then you get a bunch of athletes who literally can't... Okay. Then you get a bunch of athletes who literally can't even get the zone. I don't remember where I was trying to fly to. Because they can't do the dyno. They can't do the coordination. And it's just not enjoyable to watch. Whereas I like... And I would honestly agree that, like, super static precision is the same way. Because if you have a really hard move that requires a lot of strength to do, would be equally as unenjoyable to watch, because it's the same concept. You're going to watch that person try and try and try again and keep failing because they don't have the strength to do the problem, or they don't, in this case, don't have the hops to do the problem. And so so you have to find that fine medium, but right now, just generally, climbing is obsessed with the dynamic kind of climbs. They're just obsessed with dynos and everything. And my gym is completely dominated by it, and it really sucks. It sucks a lot. So it's very annoying, because like I've wanted to work at my climbing gym because I want to set static stuff. I'm like pretty convinced that one of the reasons I have not gotten the job there is because I want to set statically, and the owner doesn't want static stuff and find static climbing very boring, and the equivalent of climbing a ladder. Have heard him say that. And so it's like, well, there's nothing I can do about that. Like, I literally cannot get static sets without some kind of no-hands dino. I like power. And the difference between, like, true power moves and dinos are typically 1 to no points of contact. Power is usually 2 to 1 points of contact, which I enjoy that. Or like big moves where you, like, my favorite kind of move is you're over here, you jump, and you kind of go into that kind of like an arrow move. That kind of a move is really fun for me, especially like not even big, just that sort of move. I prefer doing it statically, but sometimes you can put it just far enough away where it does add a little bit dino. But a lot of times what ends up getting set is that move-ish, but you have to do a high foot, which is pushing against you. So you're now having to fight your own body to even get into the position required to do the move. And then it's also set by somebody much taller than I. Or somebody who has longer arms, because they do have a guy that's 5'6". But he also has like a +2 on the ape index, which basically means that his arms are really freaking long. So his like wingspan is freaking massive compared to his body size. And so he can make up for his lack of height with his long arms. And then you have really tall guys who have really long arms. And then it's funny because they'll set static. Like, the really tall guys are the guys that are going to set the static, but they're going to set static that's really far out of their reach, so they really got to push for it. Which ends up meaning that short guys, it's a diamond. Because there's no other way. I can't reach it. The amount of times I've done climbs and physically been unable to reach the finish hold without, like, jumping, and been at the maximum of my stretch capacity has been kind of crazy. Like, it happens a lot where I'm trying to reach for a hold and I end up getting stuck by, I end up getting stuck because I physically am incapable of reaching the final hold without doing some really risky dino. And that's the other thing. I don't like the risk. I don't want to get hurt. I am not that committed to climbing. It is a hobby. And I am not willing to put my body on the line for 10 seconds of dopamine. Of, yay, I got the climb. Okay, now I'm moving on. Especially for me, because I'm not a rest in the moment kind of guy. I just don't rest in moments. I get to a moment, I'm glad I got to the moment, we check it off the box, and we move on to the next moment, you know? Whereas some people are definitely like, okay, you rest in that moment. And that's just kind of it. You know what I mean? I mean, this is a great example. I was trying to kill Godskin Apostle, took me quite a while. It quite literally, I'm pretty sure, yeah, like, I'm now at 8 trees because of him, and some other things, right? And I didn't really celebrate at all because the moment's over. I'm done. Killed him. What more is there to do? Now I get to move on and do this. And so, like, I'm not arrested in the moment yet. So there isn't enough satisfaction in completing climbs to want to, you know, really go for it. And the other unfortunate thing with my gym as well, specifically, is because it's so dynamic, I just naturally assume every move is a dino of some kind, even when it's not. And sometimes it is legitimately, like, there is a static method that I just don't see at all because I assume, oh, I need to jump from point A to point B. And then it's like, oh, wait, no, you can actually do this to not do exactly that because that isn't the intended beta. That happens quite a lot as well. Not that often. To be perfectly honest, it most of the time is a jump. Hence I stereotype climbs as always jumps. But yeah, so that's just kind of the problem, you know? That's just, you know, and that's why I didn't end up climbing tonight, or kind of after work, because I was like, they had a couple new climbs up, on the slab wall, and I got the ones I wanted to get, and then I was left with the ones I didn't care about. And I was like, it's not worth it for me to go, especially because, like, also I just need a physical rest. I need to not be doing something super physical, because Mondays and Wednesdays I rock climb, and then on Tuesdays and Thursdays I play volleyball. So I'm doing a lot of physical activity. Then my job is lifting heavy things and moving heavy things around. And so that's really tiring. And then, like, I had a Saturday off, and I went on a hike on that day off. And so I was like, well, now I'm, like, super sore from that. So I was like, I wouldn't mind just taking a break from all this physical activity, or to a degree, and just not climbing. Especially because, as just mentioned, it's just sometimes climbing isn't worth it. We do have a local gym, and I think I've gotten to the point where I do want to pay for it to a degree. They have this really nice thing where you can do the passes. I'm gonna grab this beehive while it's nighttime. They have like a 10-day pass that you can purchase, where you can buy 10-day passes that you can use whenever, and it's $40 cheaper than the full amount. And I'm like, that's a pretty good deal. That's a pretty good deal. So I might do that, but the issue is now finding the time to go, because I'm climbing with a friend Mondays and Wednesdays, and that kind of complicates things because he isn't quite ready to pay the money, even for like the 10-day passes. He isn't quite ready for that yet. So now, I mean, I knew going into it I would have gone alone, but now I actually have a friend that I'm going to be climbing with. And this is also a new climber as well, new climber. And I just don't have anyone else who goes to this gym that I would know. Granted, if I started going to the gym, I'd meet the people there. Maybe I could even try getting a job there, which could be really nice. But again, I'm not sure what they're like. They definitely they have more strict rules on what they can and can't set, which is really nice for people like me, because then okay. All right, well, it allows me to thrive because they have rules on how far apart holds can be. Then again, they also have a much wider audience of climbers comparatively to my school. So they kind of have to, because they have to account for age as well, where younger ages tend to be shorter. Therefore, you kind of need to allow the younger ages to be able to climb the climbs. Because if you did all dinos, they wouldn't be able to. You also aren't fully responsible for their safety. So it's also, dinos are also a safety concern. Now at college, you obviously you do the waiver. But at a local gym, you don't really you do have that, but I don't know what the rules are for a minor in a waiver, because most likely the parent has to do something about it as well. Granted, the parent's also always going to be there with anyone under the age of 16, theoretically. And the reason I say that's because when you're 16, you can get your permit and then your license. I guess 17 is more accurate, because most likely while you're 16, you're going to be getting your permit. All right, dude. All right. Maybe I should have gone further away from the friggin' thing over here, dude. It is laggy over here. Anyways, yeah, like 17 or under. And then, of course, 18, you're an adult, you can sign your own waiver. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you do to yourself. You can hurt yourself as much as you want. You signed the waiver, you are liable. But I don't know how it works with parents. But again, if they're under the age of 17, there's a good chance they are going with somebody older than them, especially, most likely their parent. Because there's a good chance if a kid is climbing, their parent probably got them into it in the first place. Usually. Like, for example, one day, when I'm a father, I'm going to be taking my kids climbing, for sure. Absolutely, for sure. However far they want to take it, they can take it, but most likely, they'll probably get into it to a degree. We'll see how far they get into it. That is always kind of a curious thing, taking your kids to your hobby and then seeing like, okay, which ones are going to adopt it, which ones aren't going to care. Are there any that are going to spite you and not do it just because they don't want to? Now, hopefully, I don't have that kind of relationship with my kids, that they would spite me and not do my hobby for whatever reason. It's just kind of a funny thought. I don't think that those kinds of that's more of like in the movies kind of thing. Or are they the kind of kid that's going to spite you and get really good at it to get better than you? Though to be fair, usually if you bring up a younger generation into your field, they will naturally be better than you because they're learning off of your mistakes and their own. And then their kids will be even better than them because they're learning off of both of your mistakes and their own. And it just kind of keeps culminating that way. Which is why a lot of, like, you'll see a lot of, especially, I feel like trade, you'll see a lot of, like, generational. Because you just learn it growing up. You know it really well. You're really good at it. And to be perfectly honest, trade makes quite a lot of money. So, you know, it's not a bad business to get into. And if you enjoy it, then yeah, go for it. Because, like, I'm getting into film, which, honestly, film works very similarly to trade in a sense. It kind of is its own trade. Now, obviously, schools don't work like trade schools. Cool. But it kind of has that vibe to it, you know? Because, of course, I don't know why I flew over here. I don't remember what I was saying. All that to say, competitive climbing is boring. That's really what the moral of that whole rant was. Competitive climbing just isn't it anymore. It really isn't, you know? And it kind of sucks because, like, I got into climbing kind of at the worst time. Because I got into climbing when it started transitioning into this competitive style, and now everything is this competitive style. And to be a person that just really doesn't enjoy the style is now making me lose my interest in the hobby as a whole. Because I'm now like, why am I bothering going to the rock wall if I don't enjoy what I'm doing? And there's just enough enjoyment to keep me going, but like not enough to necessarily want to go to a gym and pay for it. Because at least the sets at my school aren't worth paying for. If I'm being totally honest. Like, if I had to pay to go to to use the gym at my school, granted, technically I am, but you get the point. If I had to pay a membership to use the stuff at my school, I wouldn't. It's just not worth it. To pay for the sets that I get just aren't enjoyable enough to be worth the money. Now, at my local gym, might be a different story, but I don't go there often enough to have projects, so I kind of, dot around to whatever looks fun, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but having a project is really good. So going multiple times is good. I also think my local gym doesn't change the sets out as often. It's also bigger, so that makes sense. But like the gym that I go to changes out a wall every week. It changes out 2 walls every week, which keeps things fresh. Now I think they have to do that because they have to keep newer audiences engaged. And that's the other thing. Like the other reason why it's dominated by dynos is because it looks cool. And so all of the new climbers immediately all want to do all the dynos because they look really cool. Because they've most likely seen, like, highlights of World Climbing Club stuff. And they've seen the super cool dynos that the pros do. And so they're like, ooh, I want to do that as well. I want to be like that. And they don't really understand climbing as a sport. and really what it should entail. And that's just kind of the problem, you know? Like, personally, that's what I think the problem is. It's just like, I don't think younger audiences truly understand climbing and the actual sport of climbing. And now the sport of climbing has basically changed into exactly what everyone thought it was, which is not coping. Because now it's like the super dynamic, super cool, and now it looks way cooler. And like, don't get me wrong, getting the dino looks really cool. It's just getting to that point of getting the dino is not enjoyable to watch. And even when they finally get the dino, it's competitive styles, or comp style. So they're probably just going to fall in the next move anyways, because it's equally as difficult as the one they were struggling on to get to where they are. And it almost gets to a point where it's only interesting to watch if the climbers flash it. Which then at that point, if they're flashing it, then what's the point? They're not struggling. Which is why I also think Sorato Anraku is thriving right now. Because the Japanese style is very much in tune with the current setting. And so it's basically right up his alley of expertise in climbing. You know, it would be basically, I think Meiji Schalk would probably be dominating if it was a bunch of slab climbing, because the French are really good at slab. You know what I mean? So it'd be that kind of concept where, like, okay, well, the French athletes are going to dominate if all the boulders are very slabby. You know, imagine that. In a few years, all of a sudden the dinos calm down, and now people get really interested in slab because they're tired of watching everyone jump everywhere. But it looks really cool when you just show ultimate control on the wall. Still no hands. Like, no hand climbing, I bet, is going to be the next fad in climbing. Like, everyone's going to want to no hand climb. Dinos are going to be old. People want to climb with just their feet. They want to show off the technique. But to be fair, I'd much rather watch that and slab climb. I actually quite enjoy slab climbing. I would much rather do that than dinos, because it's more enjoyable. It only sucks when you get really bad feet on slab, because then you just kind of suck. And a lot of people just don't enjoy slab. I enjoy slab because it's slow, it's steady, and you gotta think about it. You don't really have to think about dinos, if I'm being honest. You just kind of throw yourself at the wall and hope for the best. And that's really all that is. That's all there really is to dinos, if I'm being honest. There really isn't that much to it. It's not a science. It's dinos, in essence, are quite easy. If you have enough strength, you can do it. You don't need that much technique, like actual like foot technique or anything like that, for dinos. Because they're not very hard. They're just very risky. And then to make it hard, they just make it more awkward to jump. Or they give you really bad hands, or really bad feet, or, really bad catch. All of those. Like, they just make those bits harder, or make the holds further apart. And then we're back to square one, where it's just like, well, now these athletes just aren't getting it. They just aren't succeeding at all. And I'm like, well, at that point, what is the point? I don't know. It's very much the opposite opinion, probably, from pretty much everyone else, if I had to guess. Well, I mean, actually, Yannick Floe would agree with me heavily on this subject. I tell you what, he would agree with me. He is a professional climber who used to do bouldering, and mainly competed boulder. However, he has since stopped competing bouldering and moved more to lead climbing because he did not enjoy the dynamic style of bouldering and preferred the very slightly more static style of lead climbing. So he began training that instead. Which is why I say he would very much agree with me, because he likes the static climbs. it's just kind of like climbing. Just there's so much potential with climbing. You know, there's like so much you can do with it. But I feel like we're not utilizing that potential. You know. We're just kind of like make the holds further apart. All right, that's difficult. There we go. That's all we ever have for difficulty. Okay, I will say there is some difficulty to dinos. I mean, you jump, but I guess if you're not good at that, then I guess it's hard. The irony of me is that I'm actually quite good at dinos. Like, I have really good jumping power and power, which is why I enjoy power as a style. Because I'm actually really good at it. The problem is that I don't like the risk factor that comes with dinos and typically power moves. So that's where you kind of lose me. So, like, a lot of the dinos I end up deciding not to do. I probably physically could do them, and maybe even easily. But I'm just too scared to commit to the dino. And, of course, not committing is worse. Because then you're actually, that'll get you hurt. So then it's like, at the end of the day, it's kind of just better not to do it than to actually full commit into this jump. Now, some dinos aren't bad. The ones that kind of go into the wall scare the crap out of me because I'm afraid that I'm going to miss and then cheese grater myself on the wall, which isn't great. Oh, okay. But, you know, that's kind of the vibe. I don't know how long this style of climbing is going to stick around, which is kind of unfortunate because I would really, really like static stuff back. I'd really like it to become popular again. And I hope that that's soon where people begin to enjoy watching the strain and struggle again and decide, oh, you know, it's actually kind of interesting seeing them do these like really cool moves and like doing these strength-based moves rather than these like super dinos and just watching them do the same thing over and over again. But I guess if you enjoy that kind of thing of watching people potentially really hurt themselves over and over again, with each throw yielding a possibility of more damage to the person, I guess if that's your thing, then go for it. But, like, also, no. It's just not good. It's just not good. Yeah. I also just don't really think the dynamic style of climbing is really climbing. Because, like, climbing is really close to the edge of just being parkour at this point. Because parkour is getting from point A to point B as quickly as possible, and dinos are just kind of that. It's just kind of not good. What can you do? What can you do? Alright, random thought that just got into my head about Elden Ring. We're going to swap topics, because I could just keep telling you the same. Mom reveal. I need to get buffs, I think. Because, like, there are buffs in the game that I can get. But I'm not getting them. Because I just haven't gotten them. But it would probably be useful. Like, Golden Bow would be useful to have. Crab would be useful to have. Because that boosts defense. And some of these other things would be really good to have on defense. And I just don't. And it would probably be useful. Flame Grant Me Strength might also be good to buff up damage. Though I don't fully know how it works. I don't know if it's a fire specific. I think it's fire and physical damage get boosted. Howl of Shabriri also boosts damage, but I think it also increases damage taken, so I kind of want to avoid anything that does that, because I'm not good enough at the game where that becomes worth it. I need to boost damage and defense. But But I also need to learn what I can stack with what. Because that's the other thing. I don't want to... Alright, like... maybe 1 or 2 more of these trees, and we're probably at 4 shulker boxes. Granted, it probably wouldn't be bad to get just, like, a little bit extra. Speaking of which, a little bit extra. I haven't done anything with that world in a really long time. I feel kind of bad about it. Granted, I haven't played that much Minecraft just in general in a really long time. I had to create an Elden Ring challenge to force me to play more Minecraft, because I wouldn't play Minecraft because I would rather be playing Elden Ring. But then, like, I'm doing this, and I forgot just how enjoyable Minecraft is, and why I still would say it's my favorite game. Elden Ring's definitely up there. It's definitely in my top 5. It might even be my... no. Let's see. Minecraft number 1. Satisfactory number 2. Probably Elden Ring would be number 3 at this point. Bloons Tower Defense number 6. No, number 5. Smash would be number 4. Sorry, I said 6. I meant 4. I don't know why I said 6. Bloons is 5. Smash is 4. Alright. Let's get this tree right here, because it's kind of alone, and then we'll head back and build 8 trees, gentlemen. That's what we're here for. 8 trees. Alright, it's 10 o'clock as well. It's getting pretty late. But also I kinda just need to force these out, you know? I told myself I want to go long on this one. I want to intentionally force a longer stream. So we're gonna try to push it a little bit and see, and try to do that. All right, let's head back and let's try to build these 8 trees, and then we can see how that goes. Try to get this done. Progress needs to be made. Progress needs to be made. But yeah, I haven't played a little bit extra in a while. I need a good... well, I have an idea for a project. I'd really like to learn Axiom more, but also this project could be the very thing that helps teach me Axiom a little bit more. There is a book series that I really love, and I thought it would maybe be cool if I tried to build that in Minecraft, because I don't think it's been done before. That's also the other thing that makes content creation hard these days, is trying to do stuff that hasn't been done before is really hard. Where do I put beehives? I answered my question right here. So yeah. Might be time to get more blockage. Well, we'll see. I would really like to build Amulet in Minecraft and try to do that. Also, these trees are getting a little out of hand in terms of the building style. That just, like, it's not very good right now. I've gotten, I think, too much into a flow. And the trees are kind of suffering because of it. Not only are they a little too plump to be good. Like, let's start this one down here and build out until we get to, like, halfway on one of those. But also, I think I'm doing too many domes. I need to not do that. Like, I'm doing, like, the half of one side, and then I'm doing the exact opposite, and it looks kind of weird because it's kind of folding in on itself. I don't know. They're not looking good. That's what I tell you. So, like, here we'll do this. We'll leave a gap there. You know? We'll kind of, you know, we'll go way out. Yeah, we'll leave a gap there. And we'll kind of just we'll just kind of, we'll leave that right there, and then we can fill in a lot of that, like that. We need these trees to seem thick to a degree. But I mean, it's good to not have, to not think about the tree as I'm building it. And to just kind of, build it. But also, it's becoming a little too patterned. I think that's kind of one of the problems right now, is it's like you can kind of see the patterns building. It's like right here, I think I'm gonna do that. Do that. All right. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm craving the sugary snacks right now. And it's kind of rough. Kind of rough out here, dude. Because now I'm really thinking about it. Alright, I got some new Oreos. It's BTS Oreos. Alright. Actually, pretty good. Like, honestly, really good Oreos. If I'm being so for reals. So highly recommend if you're ever at Walmart and you see some. They were kind of really good. I'll say at least these trees look generally better than those. So at the end of the day, I'm still pretty happy with how they're turning out comparatively to what I had before. So, like, that's pretty good. So I'm pretty happy with, like, there, Pretty happy with how this is just coming along in general. So because I finished Game of Thrones, I have now started the successor, House of Dragon. And I mean, so far, it's not bad. It's not like crazy good, I would say, but I mean, it's pretty good. It's pretty cool. Boom. I mean, yeah, that's pretty good. That looks pretty good. All right, so we're at, yeah, so that's 1 out of 8. We got 7 more of these jits to build. Probably 2 of them are going to be the just sticks there, but I will say with the forest, this tree blends in, and when we get the more around it, I think this tree that is actually, other than the rock that's there, but again, we'll build more rocks around. We'll finally have an actual hidden entrance. Is this tree was meant to be a hidden entrance among the forest. You weren't meant to find it, and there was going to be like a tiny path that kind of led to it. And of course, the grass patch that it is probably going to be pretty empty. Though, to be perfectly honest with you, if you stand underneath it, it's just pretty dark. So I'm thinking in these light patches, I want to have moss kind of shown. Because is it these? Is this one? No. I could put a tree. Hold up. I'm going to have fences in my inventory so I could just pop these trees in there and call it a tree. A little bit of a cop-out, but it is what it is. Ah, for goodness sakes. I keep forgetting to do this. Alright. Let's go ahead and just do the whole thing, eh? Get a bunch of these jits in here. Really, we don't need the rockets. We don't use them very often. It's like every once in a while when we fall off, we kind of need them. I'm gonna be real with you. Obviously, I'm kind of done building the forest itself up. I really want to build the ground of the forest. That's the part of forests that I really like to build, and that I'm honestly not bad at. Alright, well, that's another tree forest. Just like that, we have another one. But yeah, that looks good there. And I think, 2 more right back here will hide that really nicely. So that's 2 trees. We got two done. Very good. Honestly, we are gonna keep it there. We can probably have this one like. We'll have this one be a little bit maybe shorter. Here, let me try something. I've been doing really big, like big leaves. I'm gonna try keeping this, like, try to make this equally as tall, but try to keep it as even as possible around this length. Maybe try to go a little bit more sporadic on the edges, frizz the edges. Let's see how this works out. This might go well. This might go poorly. I am not too sure how this will go. Let's fill in the gaps here like that. And come along to this side. And this action. Kind of fill in the gaps a little bit. Frizz out the edge a little bit, maybe. Maybe not do that. Would be kind of good. I don't know. We're just kind of experimenting out here, seeing what happens, I guess. Let's actually do a double whammy right here. Then we can fill in. And kind of fill that in a little bit. And then again, we kind of want to just fill around where is necessary. Maybe go a little bit more. Kind of do the dome pancakes. More opposites each other like this. Let's bring this one like right. Up to there. Something like that. And then fill that in. Kind of come around, cut around. Want to fill this in a little bit. I think I'm subconsciously switching it up a little bit. Let's put another one of those on top of it there. Okay, well, I am unintentionally kind of already shortening this. Boom. That's 3. Yeah. I think that looks pretty good. I mean, they still look like trees. That's good. That's 3 trees. I think I'm gonna fence up maybe another location. Probably right here, because this is a really, really free spot for it. Is right here. I was thinking about using walls to make a little bit. Maybe that'll look good. Maybe that'll look good. What if we did walls instead? We put it a little bit further away to look like a thicker branch. And a nice thicker grown branch. I don't know how much I like that though. Actually, I mean, yeah, it looks like a thicker branch in there. That's 4 trees. That'll probably, honestly, and a lot of these ones, we'll probably put like shrubs and stuff around them. Like, they'll get obscured, I think, like the base of it. So you really only see like a little bit of them. I think I'm gonna save the other 4 trees for the beginning of the next stream. I will be live tomorrow. I will be live tomorrow at 1 o'clock, hopefully. I have a car appointment, so we'll see. We'll close out of that. I'm gonna go back to this just so that way I can see. So we added 4 more trees, so we're at 20 now. We need to build 24. Let's go ahead and see. I didn't end up using this, which is really sad. I was kind of hoping I would. I have a big old spreadsheet that I kind of wanted to show y'all. Let's see. So we have quite a lot of people. What the heck did I just say there? Only one is playing Minecraft. I kind of want to see who is playing Elden Ring. Maybe one thing we can also do is see if there's. Oh my god! I guess you can't do that. That makes sense. Um, um, let's see. I don't suppose my main man is live at this point. No, no, he ain't. Nobody is live that I know. Because I kind of would like to like to raid somebody who's playing Elden Ring, since that's technically the game I'm playing. But at the same time, there really isn't anyone that is. The only person who I could raid feasibly right now is get railed. Because like I'm just concerned with everyone else, how clean they are. I guess we can raid. We can raid get railed. He's pretty receptive. The wolf raid incoming. Doug Woe, not capitalized though. Doug Woe High. If I spell it right. Doug Woe High. Doug Woe Heart. Doug Woe Raid. All right. Raid on over.